Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? We are at the beginning of a new week that the Lord has made. So come on in, brothers and sisters. Come in to the dinner table. I have some good food for the soul. You will be refreshed by this topic that we're going to talk about that's on the menu tonight. Come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. Go ahead and invite some family members and some more friends into it because we have plenty of room at the dinner table. And the cup be running over. So we got plenty of good nutrition for the soul. If this is your first time being at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, my brothers and sisters. And let me make his adjustment. Yes, my name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship from a spiritual perspective, basically. When I say spiritual, I basically talk about a relationship between a real man and a real woman that has God as the foundation of the relationship. In the beginning, God created the man. Secondly, he created the woman, Eve. Thirdly, God repositioned the woman, not repositioned, but represented the woman to the man, Adam. And Adam said, in the presence of God, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. That's the position that I come from when it comes to relationship, my brothers and sisters and friends. Now, if you have another type of relationship that you're into, God gave you what is called a free will. So I still invite you to sit at the dinner table and get some of this good soul food that is nutritional for the soul. Because guess what? You could really, really get something out of it. I guarantee you, you will be able to get something out of this good soul food. Now, my brothers and my sisters, let me get a little water before we get into what's on the menu for tonight. Hold on. Nothing like good H2O. Now, tonight, my brothers, and tonight, my sisters, on the menu, we are going to discuss a particular topic. And I know you have heard of this before. I'm not the originator of this particular topic, but you can get something out of it. And this is a point of view that you should consider. I know you have listened to other positions on this particular topic that's on the menu, but I'm going to put it out there. Tonight's topic that's on the menu that we are going to indulge in and some good soul food for the soul is relationships. Does the 90-day rule apply? Again, tonight we are going to embark on this particular topic, relationships. Does the 90-day rule apply? Now, before we get into the 90-day rule, let's lay down the foundation. Now, my brother and sister, there's nothing new when it comes to relationship. We have technology, but and that's the only thing that's really new. But when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman or humankind, there's nothing new. And to prove it, it's documented and it is written in the book of Ecclesiastes. That's Ecclesiastes 1:9. Again, that's Ecclesiastes 1:9, Ecclesiastes 1:9. What does the book of Ecclesiastes 1:9 say? It say, what has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Now, check this out, my brother and sister. This 90-day rule is nothing new. This is nothing new, but I'm going to present something to you what you may not have considered again, going back to the book of Ecclesiastes. That's in the Bible. King Solomon wrote this. He said in Ecclesiastes 1:9, he said, what has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There's nothing new under the sun. Now, my brother and sister, this is a question. Is the 90-day rule a game? Is the 90-day rule a game between whom or who? A man and a woman? Or does it have merit when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman? So this is what we need to come to grips on and really explore. Is the 90-day rule a game? A lot of men and a lot of women, they look at the 90-day rule as a game. And where does this 90-day rule come from? Before we get into where it come from, let's go to the dictionary and we clearly define what the 90-day rule is from the Urban Dictionary. Now, the 90-day rule, my brothers and sisters, is defined as when two people, two, are dating or talking officially, go without sex for 90 days of their relationship. Basically, my brother and basically my sister, this is a hypocritical statement and it's mostly geared towards women by our society. Again, when you look at the Urban Dictionary, when it applied to the 90-day rule, it's a biased thing that society has put on women. And according to the dictionary, again, it's when two people are dating or talking officially and they go without sex for the first 90 days of the relationship. And like I say, it's basically a hypocrisy thing when it comes to the relationship between a man and woman, meaning it's more a game per se, what society try to teach a woman to do. Now, the concept of the 90-day rule is based on like when you get a job, okay? And they want to apply that to a relationship between a man and a woman, okay? How you doing, Sister Tia? Welcome to the dinner table. So they want to use this 90-day rule. It's a concept that comes from working. And let me tell you how messed up it is. Like, for example, my brother and sister, if you're not no entrepreneur and you decide to go and get some employment from a company, right? When you go to a company and you are seeking employment, and when the potential employer propose to you to come work for them, it's in your hand then to agree or not agree. They're going to go over the terms and stipulations of what they want from you and what they're going to offer to you, okay? And then you in return, you have to let's say yay or nay to the terms and conditions of the employment. But if you notice this, my brother and sister, when it comes to going working for someone, a lot of time it seems imbalanced. What do I mean by that? You see, when you go working for a company, I'm going to get back to the men and women, but I'm just telling you the origin part of the 90-day rule. When you go work for a company, if you notice this, most companies, my brother and sister, they want you to be all in 100% from day one. When they tell you what day they want you to start, from day one, they want you 100% all in. But if you notice, most of them are not all in with you. What do I mean by that? Most of them, the only thing they're going to do is give you pay for 90 days. They're going to hold back, majority of the time, they're going to hold back benefits. Now, our companies don't do that, but they're going to hold back the benefits. And this is like a trial thing what some company want to put on you, my brother, or you, my sister. But you see, it's hypocrisy because they want you to put 100% in, but they don't want to put 100% in because they're still holding back on the benefit. What do I mean by that? Like insurance and stuff, right? But they expect for you to be 100% in. You see how messed up that is. And you, brother and sister, you got to wake up. So this particular concept, does the 90-day rule apply? It's out there. And Mr. Steve Harvey, he wrote a book, and I think it's titled Be a Woman and Think Like a Man. He have this section in his book, and this is no disrespect to Mr. Harvey. He have this portion in his book that telling women when it comes to having a physical relationship with a man that they should hold back 90 days before they have physical intimacy with a man. Now, is that the right advice to give a woman? Is that a right advice for Mr. Harvey or anybody to give a woman hold back 90 days from having a sexual relationship or physical relationship with a man. And then I guess after the 90th day, you could go ahead and be physical intimate with the man. Is that realistic? Is that not a game? So it goes back to this too, my brother and sister. Now you got to follow me. You got to follow me. So that concept saying what Mr. Harvey is referring to, it's like a man, the man should be totally invested in a relationship before he get anything from the woman. Okay. But I'm not advocating, listen to me carefully. I'm not advocating for a woman to wait 90 days for physical intimacy. To tell you the truth, my brother and sister, no woman should even play the 90-day game. You know why? Because it's a worldly game. It's a worldly game. Because if the woman is not married to the man, really she don't owe the man no physical intimacy anyway. So it's supposed to go beyond the 90-day rule. You understand? It goes beyond the 90-day rule. Actually, if you look at it from God's perspective, God preferred for a man and a woman to be married before they have sexual or physical intimacy with one another. So the 90-day rule, that's basically a worldly concept, my brother and sister. It's not a spiritual concept. It's a worldly concept, and it's not right. So let me tell you something, my brother and sister. My great-grandfather, his name is Eddie Lee Stewart, my great-grandfather. He'd been deceased many years ago. But he's not the originator of this statement that I'm about to say, but he said this, and this is what he said. He said, and I quote, he said, be with the one that loves you than the one that you love. What does he mean by that? Be with the one that loves you than the one you love. This is what he meant by that. Why should a person pursue someone that is not interested in them? Why not focus on the person that is focused on you? Because my brother and sister, if you running after someone, it's just like chasing the wind. Some of you brothers and sisters can identify what I'm talking about by chasing the wind. Some of you brothers, you know there's this woman that's very interested in you. She is willing to develop a relationship with you. She willing to invest time in you. But a lot of you guys, you're running after a woman that really don't want to invest in you. Most of the time, you guys that run after a woman, it's something that she wants you to do. And most of some of these ladies, they require for you to be an ATM machine. And then on the flip side, some of you sisters, there's this man that he's very interested in you, but you're waiting for this other man that really don't have no time of the day for you. When he get to you, you the last person on his priority list. Whereas there's this man over here that really want to invest time and energy and everything in you. So that's what that slogan really means. Be with the one that loves you than the one you love. Those of you that are coming to the dinner table, tonight's topic on the menu, relationship, does a 90-day rule apply? And as I said, the 90-day rule is basically a worldly concept, because what it's saying is, again, a woman don't go to bed with no man until 90 days. And then at 90 days, that's when you should know whether or not it's going to be a long-term relationship. Then you could decide on the 91st day to go ahead and do something with the man. That is wrong. I'm telling you, sister, anyway, that particular does a 90-day rule or work. Don't even apply that to your life. Because if you look at it from God's perspective, God really wants you to be married before you be physically involved with a man. From God's point of view, he wants you to be married. That's why and let me tell you this, some of you sisters, Don't you know if a man think that you playing the 90-day rule on him, some of them, don't you know that a man will wait you out? How you doing, Sister Angela? Don't you know that a man will wait you out if he figure that you're trying to play that 90-day rule game on him? And let me tell you what some men would do. They could actually like you. They may actually go out with you. But just because, and then, sister, you may think that he really gonna wait on you. Some men will wait on you, but let me put this in your ear. Just because the man wait on you, that's not meaning that he's not engaged in physical intimacy with another woman. He just will wait you out. That's what some women don't understand. So a lot of you think that when you holding back on a man, that proving something. No, he just waiting you out. So I just want to give some of you sisters a wake-up call. Just because you hold back on physical intimacy, the sun still go around. It still go around the earth. And most men do the same thing. So the 90-day rule, don't pay attention to that stuff. And now I'm about to make 7 points. 7 points I'm about to make. Number 1, should a woman refrain from having physical intimacy with a man that she liked for the first 90 days? That's what I was just talking about in the appetizer on the menu. Should a woman refrain from having physical intimacy with a man that she liked for the first 90 days? Yes, she can. She should refrain. She should refrain from that unless her and that man gonna get married. So what I'm saying, sisters, you don't owe no man sex. You don't owe him no sex. The only man that you owe sex to or physical intimacy with is your husband. So I'm putting that out there. Don't let no man pressure you to having physical intimacy with him in order to establish a relationship. Don't let, how you doing, Brother Van? Don't allow the typical man to say, I'm not going to wait no 90 days for no woman. Okay, you done spared yourself something, sister. And like I said, you're not required to give no man no physical intimacy unless he's your husband. So don't let no man put that on you, no pressure on you. You're not obligated to do that. But it's another part that should not go down. Question number 2. Is the man obligated to take care of a woman for the first 90 days? Is a man responsible for a woman's upkeep for the first 90 days? I just said in point number 1 that's right, Sister Angela. I just said in point number 1 that a woman does not owe a man anything unless she's married to him. And then on the flip side, a man does not owe a woman nothing unless he's married to her. It's going to be a balance. So the woman does not owe no man no physical intimacy, and the man don't owe that woman no ATM machine. So it's no both ways. The 90-day rule again, my brother and sister, that is a game that the world put out there. But I'm talking to you, brother and sister, you know better. You don't play those games with a potential person. Number 3, here's another question. Who should do the GoFunding on the first date of 90 days, the first 90 days? Who should GoFund when it comes to dating the first 90 days? If you want to go by that principle, who should GoFund? What do I mean? Who should be coming out of his or her? Should it be the man that coming out of his pocket? I talk to you, single brother, sister. Should it be the man that coming out of his pocket, or the woman coming out of his pocket when you're trying to get to know each other? If you want to go by that 90-day rule, this is my thing for you, my brother and sister. Whoever, this is what I think. I think that since the man is the leader, he should initiate it starting off. Only starting off, the man should initiate it. But every time a man and woman go out, remember, we talk about this quote unquote 90-day rule. A man would like for a woman to show him that she's interested in him too. So if you want to go by the 90-day rule, a man should not have to go for him every time you go out. How you doing, Sister Kendra Williams? If you're single, my brother, if you're single, my sister, that's right, Angela. Whoever invite, it really depends. So if you're not married, my brother, sister, we're gonna have to move this particular concept out. There are some women out there. There are some women out there that think that the man's supposed to go in his pocket all the time when it comes to everything. That's why I'm telling you, some of you sisters, that's why a lot of men, and then some men, they will hear this thing thrown at them. You so stingy. That's a psychological thing. The man is not stingy, because you got to understand this. Sister, the man is not married to you. Now, I can see if the man asks you to go out on a date, oh, well and good. You can accept and reject it because you are a free agent. Sister, you are not married to him, and he's a free agent. He's not married to you. He's not obligated to do that. But if he wants to get to know you, he should initiate and take you out. Now, there are some times, sister, that you need to get in your pocket or do something to show the man that this ain't no one-sided thing. Because when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, when it comes to a potential mate, both parties should show that they're willing to be equal. All the burden should not be on no woman, and all the burden should not be on no man when it comes to getting to know one another. If you want to go back to the Garden of Adam and Eve, when God created Eve, he created Eve because he said it's not good for man to be alone. I will make for him a helpmeet or a helpmate. Now, look what God said. God said a helpmeet. What is a helpmeet? To break it down, a helpmeet is someone that come along and assist. You see, some women, they get this thing mixed up where when they come into a relationship, the man's supposed to do everything. God didn't create a relationship between a man and a woman for the man to do everything. The man have a responsibility when it comes to a relationship, and the woman have a responsibility when it comes to a relationship. But it depends on what type of relationship is. You see, the relationship should move in 3 stages. I'm going to hit that shortly. The next question, when you are, does the 90-day rule apply? You single brother and you single sister, are you free to see other people within the first 90 days? Are you free to see other people within the first 90 days? This is what I'm looking at, my brother and sister. You got to understand, you got to really define what type of relationship you got. You got to understand it, brother. If you single, and sister, if you single, you have the right to see whomever you want to see. You have the right to go out with whomever you want to, because you're not in no serious relationship. If you call yourself boyfriend and girlfriends, boo or whatever, you're not in a real bona fide relationship. You are a free agent. What is a free agent? A free agent could sign with any team. So you're not obligated, brother, to her. Sister, sister, you're not obligated to him. You're in the stages of just trying to get, quote unquote, know one another. So you're not, it's not that type of relationship. Which leads to, what is the overall purpose for going on a date. You see, my brother and sister, when it comes to going on a date, you don't, I have said it before, you do not go on a date just for the fun purpose or just because you bored. No, that's not the purpose of going on a date. The purpose of going on a date so you could familiarize yourself with a potential mate long term. You do not supposed to be going out with someone unless you're looking for some long term. Because that person's time is just as important for yours. Don't use no woman, brother. Sister, don't use no man. Some brothers, the only reason some men, I ain't gonna say brothers, but some, some brother might be doing it. But I hope that is not true. There are some men, the purpose of dating, some men will actually spend money to date a woman, but they looking for something on the back end. And you all know what's on the back end. Most men, and I'm being generous, out of 10 men, sisters, out of 10 men, maybe 7 of them, they looking for something if they even take you to, and I have said it before, even if they take you to Applebee's to get that $20 or $25 special, they looking for something. If a man take you, if the average man meet you and take you out for a drink, or even take you somewhere like Starbucks, that man looking for something on the back end. And what is that man looking for? Most of them are looking for physical intimacy. And I said basically, well, it's about 7 out of 10. Now the other 3, they may genuinely be interested in you, and they see you more than just an object. Now when we flip it around, brothers, some women, they just want you to take them out to get a free meal. And I'm not talking about a happy meal. There are some women that want you just to take them out to feed them. They want you to take a lot of them, they want you to take them to a high-end restaurant. Some of them will even have the audacity to start asking you for money. Some of them will have the audacity to say, can you help me do this and can you help me do that? But you got to understand, the purpose of dating, my brother and sister, is to familiarize yourself with a potential mate, which leads to three steps of a relationship. First of all, how long does it take to be in a serious and committed relationship? How long does it take? The Bible clearly say that a man who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. That's what the Bible say. Angela said, that's why I'm singing till my husband find me. I don't want to deal with the food and I will cook. Amen. So, amen, Angela. So, how long does it take to move towards a serious or committed relationship? I have said this countless times, and you probably gonna hear me say this again. When a man and a woman meet, a man know within a short period of time, Time, a man know within a short period of time, sister, and I need to tell you the truth. A man know within a short period of time whether you are the one. He knows, and because you see, most men, they are analytical. Most men have a game plan when they start talking to you. And you be put in subcategories. And I have expounded this, not explained this to you before. These are the category that most men put you in. And some of them, they may not recognize, but I'm about to put it out there. Sister, when a man meets you, the average man that meets you, you're going to be in one of these subcategories. You're going to be in a temporary category. You are going to be in a temporary, long-term category, or you're going to be in another type of category, and that's the covenant part. That's what you're going to be in. Now, what do I mean by that? What is a temporary relationship from a man's point of view? If a man view you as a temporary, he really don't have to get to know you that well. He barely could know your name. He may know some superficial stuff about you, but he really don't want to learn about you. He really don't have he really don't want to spend that much time on you. It's like, I have time right now, so if we're going to do something, we're going to do something. So when a man basically puts you in a temporary category, most of the time it's about physical intimacy, okay? Most of the time. Then the second category, the temporary long term, he may say that he's serious about you. He may say that he's committed to you. Now, the temporary long term is the boyfriend girlfriend phase. He may say that you his woman. He may even call you wifey. But the part that he leaves out is the covenant part. Because a lot of these guys, they will say, we don't need no paper to say that we're married. Some men right here in the United States of America, they will say that stuff. Some of them, they would want to bring that middle east stuff over here to the West. We live in the United States of America, and majority of the states require for a man or woman to have that marriage license. Majority of the states. Now, there are a few states that recognize what is called common law marriage. I'm in the state of Georgia, so the state of Georgia does not recognize common law marriages. So if you're in the state of Georgia, they don't recognize. You can live with a person for many years, but you could call in your husband, wife, whatever you want to. Your family friend could say y'all husband and wife, or view y'all like that, but the state of Georgia does not view you as husband or wife in some most states. Okay? Now, and then we're going to get to, before I get to the last part of it, we know without a shadow of a doubt whether you are the one. And on the flip side, brother, let me tell you this. Women in general, they know within a short period of time whether you are the one. So it's not all on men. Women know within a short period of time whether you are the one or not. They know whether or not they see a future with you. They know whether or not if they got caught. Let me tell you something, brother. A lot of time, not all the time, but a lot of men, especially that woman, how should I say it? Especially that woman attractive, and if she on social media or something like that, don't you know, brothers, that there are a lot of men a lot of time be jumping in old women inboxes? Do you not realize that this social media thing, even if they're not on social media, if they go out in public, they feel attractive, someone gonna try to talk to them for whatever reason it is. But I told you it's one of the three: is temporary, long term, and the other one. But the temporary long term is, sister, you need to understand, he might move in with you or you may move in with him, but he's not going to give you that ring that signify that he's engaged with you. If he does give you a ring and he doesn't set that date, if he doesn't put a date in front of it, I mean, when he give you that ring and you accept the ring, you see, sisters, if you decide to accept what is called an engagement ring, you all should quickly move in on a date when you should get married. You should really focus on the date. You don't leave it open. You see, a ring means that you are betrothed to someone. That's engagement. When a man give a woman an engagement ring, he's supposed to be giving that woman an engagement ring with the intent, I'm taking myself off the market. And sister, when you accept that engagement ring, what you saying that, man, I'm taking myself off the market. Remember, I said when you're single, you're a free agent. You're not obligated to, brother, you're not obligated to her, sister, and you're not obligated to him. But once you get betrothed or engaged, both of you have the mindset of moving to that last hurdle. So you both taking yourself off the market. so you can focus on a long-term relationship with one another, which leads to the final question. How long should it take before a couple get into a covenant relationship, which is getting married? Brother and sister, it does not take no man over 1 year to decide whether or not you are the one, sister. It doesn't take a man that, it shouldn't. If a man go beyond a year and he's undecided, or brother, if she go beyond a year and she undecided, what that should tell both of you all something. You're not somebody not serious about no relationship. You see, when you get in a relationship, my brother and sister, you're supposed to be focused because the relationship is serious business. Now, how long should it take for a couple to get into a couple relationship? I'm telling you, basically within a year time. A man should know something within a year time. A woman should know something within a year time. Now, for those people that say, well, I got to get to know him or her more. My brother and sister, let me tell you this. Even married people, you don't know the complete person. You know why you don't know the complete person? Because you're not God. The person that you meet today is going to change in time. If you meet somebody day one and 5 years go by, they may do some similar thing, but their thought process is going to change. So the person that you enter into a relationship with, you got to understand that person is going to change. No one stays the same in this relationship. They may do some similar things. They may have a certain pattern, but the thought processes of a man and a woman change. When a man give a woman an engagement ring, a date need to be set. A date need to be set. And I'm telling you, if a man give a woman an engagement ring, you should be ready to marry a person within a year after you do that. Not going beyond a year. Why are you going to wait beyond a year to marry someone? Why are you going to do that? Somebody always calling me when I'm trying to do my show. But why are you going to wait beyond a year? It doesn't make any sense, brothers. It doesn't make no sense, sister, to be going beyond a year. Now, my question to you, sister first, why are you, and I know this I'm stepping on some toes tonight. Why are some of you sisters still in a relationship with a man and you going and you 2 years in? And I'm being generous. You 2 years in and y'all still call yourself boyfriends or girlfriend. My question to you, brother, you 2 years in and you supposed to be the head and the leader of a relationship. Why are you not serious about this woman? When you look at Jesus Christ, my brothers, when you look at Jesus Christ, my sister, if you notice this, Jesus is ready now. When it comes to a relationship between Jesus and a man or a woman, Jesus is active. Jesus wants it now. Jesus don't want you to put out things to tomorrow. If you know this about Jesus, Jesus don't want you to put out nothing for tomorrow. Because Jesus is serious about a relationship. When Jesus came down here into the world, Jesus wanted to establish a relationship when he started talking to you. Because he was serious. He was initiating it. And that's how a man's supposed to be. When a man talks to a woman, he should be initiating a relationship with the woman. Bro, you ain't never know everything about her. Sister, if you are interested in a man, you need to ask the man. And I have said this before. When it going to a year and stuff like that, sister, before it even get to a year, when a man approach you, sister, you should ask the man, what are you looking for? Why me? And why are you asking this man what you looking for and why me? You need to say a silent prayer to God and ask God, what motivating this man to approach me. And brother, when you're approaching a woman, you need to ask God, Lord, talk to me and let me know whether I should continue in this conversation with this woman. And when you pray to God, he's going to give you discernment, my brothers. He's going to give you discernment, my sister. Brother Moses, I know a old man, 83 years old, married 60 years, said he's still learning stuff about his wife. That's true, Brother Moses. That's true what that man said. You're going to always learn. You never will know the heart of that person to the core. You know why? Because, brother and sister, only Jesus has that kind of power. Like I always say, brother and sister, when it like on a typical parade, if you're looking at a parade, you're standing on the sidewalk, you will see the beginning of the parade, and after the parade pass by, that's your viewpoint on the parade. But God be like on top of the building. God see the beginning of the parade, he see the middle of the parade, and he see the end. God see the whole parade at one time. We don't. And that's how a relationship, Jesus see the whole relationship from the beginning to the end. We see the beginning of the relationship. So when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, between brother, you and a woman, or sister between you and a man, you standing on the sidewalk watching parade. Time gonna go on. And you're gonna see different things along in the parade. So I'm telling you, it's not no plaything. Brothers, do not waste your time on a woman that you don't see no future with. Don't even play with them. If you decide to, if you ask a woman out, brother, if you ask a woman out and you go to a restaurant, you should go ahead and have that conversation right then. Sister, you need to go ahead and have that conversation right then about relationship. And I gave you all a simple conversation piece. I have said it before. I'm going to say it again. It's this simple when it comes to a relationship. Remember these 5 letters, okay? Remember these 5 letters. When you go on an interview, my brother, when you go on a date, my brother and sister, it's like an interview. It's an interview. It's actually an interview. You want to know whether this person will fit. That's the word they say, will fit with the company. When a company call you in and interview you, they want to see, do you fit with their establishment? And not only that, when you go to the company interview, you have to, when you listen to them, you have to see whether you will fit with that company. It's a two-way thing. And it's the same way when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman. When you go out, you do your interviewing. And I gave you 5 simple things to do. And these are the letters. Write it down if you don't know what it is. Here are the letters. It's called forms. Forms. And it goes like this. F-O-R-M-S. I'm going to say it 2 more times. Forms. F-O-R-M-S. Forms. F-O-R-M-S. That is a conversation mover, my brother and sister. What do I mean by that? When you go out to the dinner or something like that, my brother and sister. And my thing is, when you're going out initially, you should go somewhere public. Don't begin to, you don't need to get into, you come to my place, I come to your place. You go somewhere public. What does that represent? Because you see, you take someone out public, meaning that you're not ashamed of them. Some of you women, why the man don't want to take you out in the public? And the same thing, brother, why she don't want to meet you public? You should have a public date before you get into, you come to my place, I come to your place. You should have a public date. When you get down, when you sit down, remember the first letter, F, forms. You should start talking about family. Get to know what that person, a little about that person's family. To see where he or she come from. Ask them some questions about their family. And listen. Ask the question and listen. You don't have to be robotic, but say it in a way where it's a conversation. And after you move from the F, go to the next letter, which is O, which occupation. See what they do for a living. That's right. See what they do for a living. Is it legit or not? Are they in the streets, or are they doing, are they an entrepreneur, or they work for someone? See what they do. After that, the letter R for religion. You start talking to them, see what their position is on what they believe in. That's one of the most critical letters that you're going to talk about. See what that man or woman believe in religion. Does that man or woman believe in Buddha, Confucius, and all that stuff? Or do they believe that Jesus is God's son? And when you ask them, you need to bring up Jesus' name. If you are a believer, brother and sister, you need to bring up Jesus' name in that conversation. You need to ask that person, what is your relationship with Jesus? And listen to what he or she say. You need to ask that man or woman this. Tell me this. Angela said, it's fear for some, and they just not ready or mature enough to commit to a relationship. Amen, sister. You're right about that. Ask that person, what is his or her relationship with Jesus? Not only that, ask them this question. Ask them, do they believe that Jesus is the only way to heaven? If they say anything other than that, and this is a warning, my brother and sister, because in the Bible, Jesus say that he's the truth and he's the light. No other person go to his Father. You got to go through Jesus to get to the Father. If you hear somebody say there are different ways to God besides Jesus, conversation, you go ahead and finish eating your food and stuff. That's the last day. Because you're in trouble. If you believe, brother and sister, that if you have a relationship with Jesus, you got to be sure that that man or woman have a relationship with Jesus. If he or she doesn't, and you're a Christian because you don't want to be unequally yoked, I could go on and on about that. You do not want to be unequally yoked. The next thing is money. See what they think about money. Do they like to save money? Do they like to spend money? And not only that, see if that's one of the main things that they talk about. If they talk a lot about money and material things, and you're a Christian, you don't need that person. That's a materialistic, worldly thinking person. Now, money is important, but you don't want nobody just talking about getting the bag all the time. You don't want nobody to talk about material stuff all the time. There's a time and place for that. But you there, my brother and sister, because if you get into a relationship with a man or a woman, brother and sister, and you get married and you get in that covenant relationship, money, my brothers, money, my sister, that is a breaker. Don't you realize, my brother and sister, that financial problem is people get a divorce more for financial reasons than adultery? Now, some people think people get a divorce mostly on adultery and stuff. A lot of people would get a divorce when it comes to money and material stuff. I can tell you this: if you go to court and you get married to someone, all the court gonna want to do is know about assets and liability. They can hear everything else, but when it comes down to it, they want to know what y'all own together and your liabilities. Because a court going to show you that your marriage is a business. Don't you know, my brother and sister, when you get that marriage license, it's just like a business license. These people that got these companies around here, they have to apply for what is called a business license. You, my brother, and you, my sister, when you are married, you need to understand your marriage, how the courts look at it. It's like a business. You merging your assets and liabilities together. For those of you, when it comes to money stuff, you better find out whether or not that man or woman got a student loan floating out there. You better know about that financial stuff, because if you marry someone, guess what? You're going to inherit that stuff. The good part about it, if y'all get married and one of you pass away before the other, you're going to inherit those assets. The bad part about it, if they come in with stuff like student loans and taxes, you owe the federal tax, you owe the state tax. Guess what? If you file jointly and somebody owes federal or state tax and especially school loan, you're going to be looking for a refund and you're going to be surprised. You're going to be wondering why you didn't get your federal check in your bank account or your state check. Then you're going to call them and they're going to tell you that your mate did not tell you. They're going to say, do you know this person? You're going to say, yeah, that's my husband and wife. Well, he or she owed taxes, federal and state tax, or they owe the student loan. That's why you have to ask these type of questions, my brother and sister, what you got out there. Let me know. You need to know that. And then the other part, you need to know, my brother and sister, answer, when it's warm, I actually suggest the part. That's good, and going to the park for a date. And then he'll go another part. You start asking that person about sex. You don't, when I say sex, you don't ask that person, do you want to go have some sex? I'm not talking about that. See what they think about sex. You are a mature man and you're a mature woman. Talk to them about sex. Can you talk about sex on the first date? You doggone spiffy, you need to talk about it. But you're not talking about it to get in the bed with them. You need to see what they think about it. You need to understand, my brother and sister, do they believe when it comes to a serious, committed, and covenant relationship, is it just going to be you and the spouse, or is it going to be you and other people? You have to discuss all that stuff. Because you see, some men and women, they get married, and then they find out that their mate got a fetish, right? Like a fetish. They want to do threesomes. They want to go to these little places where you already heard these places where you go to these little clubs and you're doing these spouse swaps and stuff like that. You need to know. You need to know whether your mate wants to introduce you to somebody else. Let me tell you this. Some years ago, my brother and sister, that was this young lady that I was trying to get acquainted with, right? I was trying to get acquainted with her. So, you know what she asked me? She said, Tony, how would you feel if we bring somebody else into our relationship? And I said, what do you mean? How would I feel if we bring somebody else in a relationship? She said, well, I want to see you with another woman. I said, what? She said, I want to see you with another woman. I said, what you want to see me with another woman doing? She said, I want to see you and the other woman having sex. I said, what you supposed to do? I mean, she said, well, I will sit there and watch you. Then I might get it. I might get in and join you. And then I said, oh, okay. You want to see me getting on with another woman? She said, yes, I do. And then I said, what about you? She said, well, and I want you to see me getting on with another man. I said, you want to see you getting on with another man? She said, yeah. I said, how am I supposed to do it? She said, I bring, you could, I'm paraphrasing, you could bring one of your friends, or I could bring a guy and we'll do it. And I just want you to watch us doing it. And I said, what am I supposed to do? Just sit there and watch? She said, yeah, or you could come join us. And when she told me that, when we had that brief discussion, don't you know that was it at that particular time? I'm not into that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm glad we had that conversation because I know that was going to be a problem. Like Sister Annie said, I don't share. Let me tell you that, my brother, sister, it will never work. And like there are some people that got what are called open marriages, right? And the open marriage is like this. Long as I know the person, we got to agree that you could be with this person. There are a lot of people, couples, my brother and sister, they in the open relationship. And the only thing they have to do is let their mate know about this other person. That's basically it. Long they know, and the other person and their mate, like a woman, she could talk to her husband about this certain man. And her husband may get to learn a little about the man. Then he have to check off and give his wife permission. Say, yeah, you can go ahead and do your thing, or vice versa. The man have to tell his wife about this other woman, and the other woman, it just messed up. And let me tell you something there, my brother, since I need to share this with you all. There was this lady. Yeah, that's right, Angela. Open, yeah, that's open the spirit transfer. That's right. And let me tell you all something else too. That was this lady, and this lady. You all know that I do consultations, right? I do consultations, right? So this lady, she stay out of town. How you doing? So how you doing, Auntie Davis? Let me tell you this. There was this woman that stay out of town, right? She doing like you all doing. She at the dinner table, right? She reached out to me. I thought that she had a problem where she wanted to talk about a relationship problem. This is what this woman wanted to talk to me about. She noticed, you see that young lady up there, Cinderella. She said, she said, you got a nice looking wife. I said, okay, but I'm listening because I thought she wanted to talk about, some consultation and stuff, right? About relationship. So she said, yeah. She said, you got a nice looking wife. And she said, you stay in Georgia. I said, yeah. And then, she said, I don't mind moving there. She said, I'm retired. She said, I'm retired and I could come there. But she said, I want to put this out there for you. She said, you seem like a nice, decent man. I said, thank you. But I'm still wondering where she going with this, right? She said, you seem like a nice, decent man. She said, you look nice. I like them chocolate and all that kind of stuff. She said, you be so well groomed and all that kind of stuff. And she said, you talk like you have a lot of sense and stuff. And I'm still trying to figure out where this woman going with this, right? So she said, I don't mind moving to your state and your city. And she said, would you consider me being your wife too? I said, what? She said, would you consider me being your wife? I said, well, what I supposed to do with my current wife? She said, I'm not telling you to leave your wife. She said, you don't leave her. She said, I can move down there and I could get a house and I could be your second wife. And I said, well, what I supposed to do about my current wife? She said, you stay with her. And I said, well, how does this supposed to work? And she said, whatever you and your wife do, you and I do. I said, what? She said, whatever you and your wife do, or better yet, we all could live together. That's what she told me. She said, oh, we all could live together. Can you believe that? Yes, stuff like that. Brother and sister, I could tell you all a whole bunch of stuff what I'll be running in. I could tell you, but this woman, she was willing to move here to Georgia. She was going to buy a house. She wanted me to treat her like I treat Cinderella, and she wanted to be identified as my wife. I could keep Cinderella, but she wanted to be identified as my wife too. Or we all can know about it. And you say, oh, talking about that sister wife stuff. Yes, Angela. And she was dead serious. She was dead serious. And she said, or we could all live together. Don't you know my brothers? Don't you know my sister? There are, yes, Auntie David, and get tore up. That's right. Don't you know my brother? Don't you know my sister? That kind of stuff exists. There are actually some relationship right now, and you all know about this. There are some men that have women living with them, And the women, they living up under the same roof. If there's one man, he got a harem of women. We ain't talk about that Middle East stuff. We talk about West. We talk about in the United States of America. There are some women that they live with the man together. They do. I haven't heard too much of a woman and she got different men staying. It might exist. Now, it might exist, but I haven't heard too much. But I have heard, and it's documented. You can go all the way back to the Bible when there are some men, a man, and he have more than one wife and concubines. But in our society, a man may have the main woman, then those other women, they're not concubines, they the side chicks. Most of the side chicks may not be known to the main woman. And the side dude may not be known to the main man. They might be in secret. But most of the time, the side chicks, they know about the main woman. And most of the time, the side dudes, they know about the main man. That's how it is, my brother and sister. But hey, does the 90-day rule apply? The 90 rule, my brother and sister, it does not apply, because if you're single, my brother, if you're single, my sister, the sister, you don't owe no man nothing if you're single. Why you want to, sister, why you want to say 90 days and we'll see whether or not we're going to be physical? You don't owe that man nothing unless you say I do. From God's point of view, you don't owe him nothing until you say I do. And brother, on the flip side, you ain't got to be paying that woman bills and everything. You don't owe her nothing. You ain't married. You're a free agent. So you got two free agents. So that's what you are. You free agents. And when you date, both of you all should date, and you should do it together. The burden should not be all on one person. I think that the man should initiate the date. And I think that the man should form the first date. But if you're going out on different dates and stuff, my brother and sister, you all need to be balanced too. You need to sometimes go in your pocket and treat the guy sometime. Because when you get married, if you get married, it shouldn't be all on the husband, or it shouldn't be all on the wife. It's supposed to be one. So you're getting your training by dating, and hopefully you get engaged, so you get a preview or excuse me, what it possibly might be like when you say I do. So when it comes to dating, and you should be serious about dating. Like I said, dating is like an interview, a phone interview, but you don't want to waste no one time, my brother, and you don't want to waste nobody's time. So, brother, let me tell you this: when it comes to dating, do not date the woman just to get her on her back. Sister, when you date a man, don't just date him because you look at him like an ATM machine. Because most of the time, when you're trying to come with those type of deals, the person going to want something out of you. So I'm telling you, brother, I'm telling you, sisters, most of the time when a man take you out, most of the time, I ain't say all men, most of the time when men take you out, most men, they want to have physical intimacy with you right after that special meal, that Applebee special. Or if they take you to have a drink or something, most of the time, I ain't saying all the time, but most of the time they looking for physical intimacy. And most of the time, brother, you need to look out for this. Most of the time, a lot of women, they want what's in your pockets. Some women, their philosophy is no honey, no money, no honey. But you don't owe no one nothing when you're not married to them. You, brother, are a free agent. Sister, you're a free agent. The best situation, brother and sister, is when God, Son, Jesus is in it, and Jesus, brother, called you to find a woman, which is your wife, your potential wife, and sister, you supposed to be in position when God bring the man to you. So the Bible clearly says, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. When the Lord said that, he talked about a Christian man and a Christian woman. He not talk about a worldly man finding a worldly woman, they get married. He ain't talk about that. He talk about two believers. You understand? That's what the Lord talked about. I hope you, brother and sister, you enjoyed this this meal tonight, and I hope that you get a carrot plate and share with some more brothers and sisters. I'm on 2 different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. So share and like, my brother and sister. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. I hope that you all have a good night. Your brother Tony love you. Peace out.